Hi, everyone. This is the CS&PM monthly call for, oh my gosh, we're in February 2024. We're going to go ahead and get started with some product updates. Hannah, go ahead.
All right, a few things to mention. This past milestone, we did a deprecation on a gem that customers could use to log into GitLab with Azure. It would show up on their instance as a Azure login with Azure button. We need to deprecate this, and we preserve the same functionality with just a different gem that has better upstream maintenance. So they would need to add the provider I linked here. We put some instructions before 17.0 to prevent disruption, or if they don't action this before 17.0, that button will disappear. Their users can still log in, just not with their Azure credentials, and then the admin would have to complete this process. So it's not something we can proactively swap for the customer, which is why I wanted to point it out, because it will take action from them. Any questions there? Okay, we've been getting some comments on weird behavior because there's a SAML session expired at the group level. Someone's in multiple groups, and only one session is expired. They'll still be logged in and they can see their to-dos, but the to-dos will be the wrong number. So we've improved this, and now we've made it more clear in the UI when someone has a SAML session that's expired. So hoping to, and prompting them to re-authenticate to get their to-dos and such in the right count. And then the last thing is that we have customers who are using service accounts, yay. Whenever we first implemented it, we did not think fully through the LDAP use case. And so if you have LDAP group sync and you have service accounts, since they're not part of the LDAP at the provider level, the service accounts were always kicked out, and you had to turn off LDAP sync temporarily to sync them back. We fixed that, and they're now excluded from LDAP sync. Any questions on my items? All right, Alana, are you caught up enough to go?
Yeah, so just in case you missed it, I did want to announce it here. The UX research team is looking for people to participate in a 60-minute interview sometime within between now and the next couple weeks. We do want to talk to existing customers specifically about security dashboard metrics and tracking vulnerabilities on non-default branches. So if you have a customer that is interested, I've reached out to all the things, all the related issues and the comments that people have had, but we are still looking for more people. So I did go ahead and post that. It's also in what's happening at GitLab, and there's the survey link for how we're qualifying participants. But if you can send people my way, that would be much appreciated. Any questions around that study?
Is there like a time frame by chance? Like you said next couple of weeks, is there like a date I can kind of, I'm trying to see if I can maybe, I talked to a lot of customers. I'm on the scale team.
Yep.
On the mini, so I may be able to maybe set up like a little mini campaign to find out who,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
get.
I mean, we were hoping that we could interview everyone within the next 2 weeks, but if it slips past March 7th, and you have some really good people that we can talk to, we can push that date out a little bit. But we are trying to shoot for March 7th. That would be great. Yeah, especially if you can run your own little campaign.
All right, cool. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you. Any other questions around talking to customers for those studies? Cool. The other thing that I wanted to make sure that everyone here is aware of is we do have a breaking change coming up in 17.0 that will be pretty heavily customer facing. We're removing admin vulnerabilities from developer in 17.0, so we still have a couple of milestones. But what this does is it makes it so developers cannot change the status on a vulnerability. It moves that permission up to maintainer, and then if they want people that are not maintainer, like they're security engineers, they're going to need to leverage those custom roles and permissions and add that admin vulnerability back to, like, say, a security analyst or a security engineer. Hopefully everyone was already aware, but if they're not, I did link the issue. Any questions with E? All right, Joe, over to you.
Thanks, Alana. A couple updates on our end. Authorization covers both default and custom roles. So again, we're looking for customer feedback on building roles and their organization. There's a survey link you can send to your customer. So please send that out if you have a chance, for those who are interested in custom roles. Upcoming plan permissions, managing your compliance framework, security policies, and CI/CD variables. And then we also have a deprecation announcement for 17.0 for self-managed customers to centrally manage custom roles at the instance level rather than the group level. That's it on my side. Any questions? Feel free to toss them in and I'll answer them. Over to you, Marco.
Yeah, I just wanted to repeat something I had mentioned to Sarah already. I had realized that there were missing fields from the scanners to filter and then to use the new OWASP filters correctly. So I learned quickly that Isaac Dawson is still touching all the rules. And if the rules don't have the fields like the CWE number or the OWASP category and all that. And that was confusing. It took me quite a while to figure that out. And I just wonder, it's a general question here. So when one feature that is deployed, which relies upon another feature that is not yet deployed, it means the feature does not work, right? So, and I just wanted to mention, it took me quite some time to figure that out. And I don't know. Is there a gap between secure and govern, and can that somehow be enhanced? But because it's like a couple of people just wasted time on that, and I just wonder how this works between the two stages. The problem is clear.
Yeah.
I've seen that as well. Like if you go into group by OWASP and it just shows a bunch, like everything is empty. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so I had in my project, I had one injection, but it was like, I don't know, like a LDAP injection or whatever, or code injection, but then all the other stuff, like all the SQL injections, they didn't show up. And then I was wondering what was wrong, right? And then I just wanted to just as a feedback, that is such things when something is deployed and the dependency is not clear, and then one is spending a lot of time to figure out what's going wrong. Somebody else did that too, and I then try to spread that info so that nobody else is wasting time on that. But I was just wondering if this could not be. I just wanted to know how you work. It's not like a complaint or anything. It's just wanted to mention this is wasting time sometimes.
I did follow up on your specific comment, Mirko. So thank you for pointing it out. I know at least on the DAS team, we'll either end up having to hard code some values to get it to work, or I think Cam was also going to talk to the Threat Insights team to see if there was a different way to handle it on the back end, so it just automatically worked. But I'll follow up to see kind of what the outcome of that discussion was, to see whether we have to make changes or whether they make a change on their side and it would work better for the analyzers.
So it would be nice to learn when Isaac has finished his task, right? So
yeah, I think he's only addressing it for SAST results based on the thread we have.
Yeah, and he said there would also be a distinction between 2017 and 2021, right? So that is something he also needs to do. So it'd just be nice to learn when he's finished with that. So you have to see when we do stuff and like demos and so on, right? And then we might show something and then okay. I mean we try stuff first, but if somebody asks, you go into that and then You know, it's a surprise because we do it on SaaS. And then, yeah, if such a dependency then is there, it's a little bit confusing. That's all I want to say. No complaints.
Yeah, I think just adding more to the complexity too with DAST API right now, we're using the 2017 results, but we do need to update them. And once we do, there's a separate OWASP top 10 list that's just for API related issues. And so that'll add yet another OWASP list.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. By the way, there would also be another list for mobile applications if we want to make it more complex. Yeah. Just feedback.
And my apologies. I assumed the data was already there for OWASP when we turned that feature flag on. Do you think it makes sense to turn it off until we have that working tied back to all the scanners better first, or should we leave it on and just continue to work through it?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking what happens if it's a customer and then it'll be on self-managed. That might be confusing, right? So
Right.
it's probably a good idea to turn it off. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Because it's not like it's not working. It's just not finished, right? But nobody would know.
okay. We will chat about it and figure out what to do offline.
Yeah.
Okay. I also wanted to point out, I did have a GitLab Duo coffee chat with Michael, and that's recorded. I linked to the post in Slack, and what it does is it compounds a lot of the AI features that we have. So it takes vulnerability explanation, then it takes vulnerability resolution, opens an MR, and then it also layers in GitLab Duo chat, code suggestions. I think there's also some root cause analysis in there, but just how all of the different AI features can work together, not just necessarily the security one. So if you missed it, there's the link for it there. All right, I think that finishes up our product updates. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you, everyone.